Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
What happens in Vegas goes all over the world on Black Entrepreneur Experience, episode number 205.
Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black Entrepreneur Experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards. My Dream Big Club started in January 2018. A husband and wife team started My Dream Big Club. Welcome, Philip.
Hey, how you doing?
I am perfect. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me on your show.
You are so welcome. Listen, fill in the gaps. Share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your company.
Yeah, so just want the audience to know that, I am an avid entrepreneur. I'm a strong believer in education, a believer also in general, and I am a family man. So pertaining to My Dream Big Club, we've put together a community where we're looking to support and inspire entrepreneurs to dream big. And we do that through our multiple and various events, as well as putting together packages for them to just jumpstart their business. And, one of the great things that we also have is, a podcast, My Dream Big Club podcast, because through this journey, people need to continuously be inspired, right? The entrepreneur journey can be very difficult. So we want to be able to provide a lot of great insights on what they can do and hear from great stories for people that have already done it.
Give us your greatest inspiration right now.
Greatest inspiration right now, it's probably coming around just being able to, see people like, I look to what Nelson Mandela has done, Barack Obama has accomplished, people like that. I've always been around a strong social cause. That's been my interest, and seeing that they have the ability to pull together people, in particular Black people, to be able to see a mission or to desire change or to be able to just dream big, right? And know that the possibilities are endless in what they can accomplish. So that continues to inspire me to know that, the possibilities are endless in what you can accomplish.
Tell us what you're most grateful for.
Most grateful for my family. I think that part of life is being just very happy. And I've been blessed to have a wonderful wife and wonderful kids, and everything that I do, it really kind of just connects to them, right? Pertaining to making sure that they're well taken care of, and pertaining to make sure that, for my kids, that I'm building a better world for the future, because they're the ones that are going to be, taking the baton and moving on with it.
Talk about the story behind My Dream Big Club.
Yeah, so we first kicked off our first meeting in 2018 in Michigan, and my wife and I, we were just looking for a group of people where we can, similar to a mastermind in our area, where we can just connect with and share great ideas and support each other's endeavors. We couldn't exactly find what we were looking for, so we just decided, why not just start one? And through that process, we started out in our home, where people were able to come together, discuss transformative topics like what does it mean to dream big, overcoming imposter syndrome. And then from there, we moved from our home base and transitioned to library and public spaces. So we went from 10 people to 40 people. And then last year, as we continued to grow and people were saying hey, we want more, well, we decided to do our inaugural conference, where we had over 160 people attend. And then that was, very inspirational, because it was titled Channel Your Inner Excellence. And from the feedback that we received, it was wonderful to see what we were growing. And then, now we've moved to Los Angeles. And of course, as COVID hit, it really gave us a new sense of all these different events that we're doing in person, which we still want to do when we come back from it. But we've been able to now spread our audience and our engagement to an international audience through going digital, where our second most activity for cities is in Lagos, Nigeria, right? So we've been able to now spread our our services, be able to reach more people. And then the beauty of it too is you're able to connect people in Lagos, Nigeria, with people in Detroit, with people in Los Angeles. And now the entrepreneur journey is very similar no matter where you are. There's different resources. And what we're seeing is that people are gaining knowledge through the platform that we've created for them. So that's My Dream Big Club.
When it's all said and done, talk about your legacy. How do you want to be remembered?
That's a great question. Legacy-wise, it's going to be that I stood for change. I stood for being able to provide resources to people to be able to excel in whatever they're doing. So I have a strong background in STEM education as well. And that was centered around being able to provide those that don't have as many resources with more and ample resources and exposure to what they want to do. And as we work on just people that are underrepresented and being able to get people to start businesses, like through My Dream Big Club, our vision is that we've helped to create the next Amazon, right? Someone that had this idea, they had this skill set, they didn't know how to start. We jump-started them. And then through that, we were able to bring them to help other companies jumpstart, right? So creating that web of success through what we've been able to support and guide people in their journey.
How can someone connect with My Dream Big Club?
Yeah, so you connect with us on social where you can connect with us with My Dream Big Club. That's the handle. And then our website, mydreambigclub.com. And of course, as you listen to podcasts, just search for My Dream Big Club.
What can we do right now to support My Dream Big Club?
Right now, the being able to support us through our podcast, and then also being able to find ways for us to connect where we're building a support system, a support group where as you are connecting with us through LinkedIn, through Instagram, joining our newsletter, we're building a community, right? And that community is really focused on being able to support one another. So I think for us, it's just a matter of, joining the community one way or another, because we will find a way to connect you with others. And, it's all about the people that are part of the community, right? Like, what is it that they need, and giving them a platform to showcase their business, giving them a platform to learn and to continuously, develop themselves. That's all what we're focused on.
What book would you recommend and why?
The book that I would recommend, it's a simple one. So, Who Moved My Cheese, right? It's a quick book. I think sometimes people's level of reading is different. So this book is such a quick read that you could read it in a day or in a couple hours. And the beauty of that book is that it's all about change, right? So the book talks about how we as people sometimes believe that we should stay put because of whatever the circumstances are. And it really pushes you to think about changing. And, as you look at your circumstances, look at the cards that you're dealt with, you have the ability to make that change happen. And there's people that will continuously to talk about the problem, talk about what they feel like their situation is. And there's people that are like, all right, well, this is the situation. This is what I'm going to do to change right now. And that's impactful, because no matter where you are in life right now, you could be rich and unhappy. You could be, looking for additional funding, your health, your wellness, whatever it may be. But you can really sit down and say, okay, what can I do right now to change my outcome, to change the future? And I think that in itself is just a very powerful thing to do.
Let's talk about capital. How did you raise capital to start your business?
Yeah, self-funded in the beginning. So we self-funded the business, and then we went into a membership model. And then from our conference, we were able to get sponsors that were interested in what we were doing. And then now we're looking into grants, right? Especially during this time, we're trying to find innovative ways to support these entrepreneurs, where it could be coming on our platform to showcase their services. We've discussed doing some more virtual events, but that's how we started in the beginning, just by self-funding it. And then that transitioned into, selling tickets for the conference and then having sponsors as well.
There are so many businesses and brands that are successful. Talk about a brand or a business that's successful that you admire and why.
I would go with Amazon. Of course, they're the behemoth now, but as I was following them for years, they first started out by just focusing on their customer segment around books, right? So they first sold books, and they did it very, very well, right? And to even start out with that is they went against the grain where people were just like, why would people want to buy books online? And what exactly are you guys doing? And then from there, slowly but surely, right, they started to add from books to different e-commerce that they just continue to add products one at a time, right? Amazon Prime was not always Amazon Prime, right? Amazon Prime before was just really created to help increase the delivery time, right? So that people didn't have to pay for delivery all the time. And then they increased the delivery time to where you can order something today and get it tomorrow. And one of the great things that they do is that they always create a press release on what they want to happen in the future. So instead of just kind of, going out in the air and saying, hey, we want to, increase our revenue, they create a press release on catering and designing exactly what happened. So on this date, we accomplished this, and then they work backwards. So they reverse engineer it from exactly what they envisioned to happen. So I think it's just a great story. And they, obviously during this time, they're even, growing, which shows how robust they are. So I think that from them being able to go against the grain and continuously go against the grain and innovate, and there's so many things that they're doing that we don't even know about around the innovation, right? So I think it's a wonderful story and great case study to look at.
Talk about your influencers and what lessons did they teach you?
It kind of goes in line with the Nelson Mandela, which is someone that I truly inspire to be, or truly inspires me and I aspire to be like. And Obama, I think from the two of them, it's all around having courage, no matter what you're doing, having courage to go out there and to be able to, even when you don't have the right type of support, and just knowing that what you're doing is right, and staying true to yourself, to be able to know that no matter what the socially what's happening, no matter what people are saying, is that you're so to who you are and what you're doing in life. I think to me, the courage that they have is remarkable. And then also dreaming big, right? So I guess, in life, we have the ability to dream small, not dream at all, to dream big. And, what Nelson Mandela did with apartheid in South Africa it was remarkable. And being able to just bring a group of people that are oppressed and be able to just provide them with hope, provide them with the ability to know that there's light at the end, right? I think it takes a lot to move people that, it's not a matter of like they're connected to you or you're not paying them. It's just, you have the ability to move a group of people. It's very, very powerful.
What problem exists in the world today that you would like to solve?
The problem of inequality, right? I think we as Black people are faced with so many different inequalities in our life, and when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to injustice, and my big dream is being able to create a strong system where we can connect with each other to support one another's businesses, for people to jumpstart their businesses, but then also through this network is connecting for bigger change, right? I think education is one of the biggest equalizers, right? So being able to really support the education realm, connecting people to mentors, connecting people to role models, right? I think that's what makes a lot happen and a lot change, and just being able to, inform people about, the justice system so that we can change the different laws that are really designed to oppress us in many ways. So those are, the things that come to mind.
Share some advice you wish you had followed.
Some advice I wish I had followed would be investing very, very early. So, from when I was in high school, people were talking about investing and compounding your money. So I wish I started that earlier. And that's something for my kids that I've already started, and they're only, 2 and 5. And then just being able to find a mentor early on. I think that when you find people that are able to guide you early on in life, it helps to kind of direct your path. And then I think throughout your life, you understand the impact that it has. And then you just can continuously find people that will direct you and point you in the right direction.
Talk to a younger you. What advice would you give to a younger you?
Younger me would be around taking great risk. I think when you're younger and there's no kids, there's no wife, it's just you that's designing your path. I think that's the greatest time to take your biggest risk. And through those risks, you'll learn very quickly. And for my younger self, of course, when it comes to entrepreneurship, traveling, just being very audacious, right? Because those are the experiences that today I will have learned quicker and I would have experienced even quicker. So when there's definitely no excuse for not being very audacious with your goals and challenging yourself to fail big, or quote unquote fail, because you're just able to learn from it, pivot, and use those experiences for the rest of your life.
Speaking of failure, talk about your worst moment in life or business and what was your takeaway?
There's a couple. One that comes to mind is just, so I've created my own STEM company in Michigan where I think we had a lot of potential to be big and to have a greater impact. One of the things that I wish I would have done is just have stronger goals in what we were looking to do, where our metrics were really aligned with the direction that we wanted to take it. And, for a long time, we were able to kind of just be steady in our growth. I shouldn't say steady, but we kind of plateaued. So, we weren't losing money, we weren't gaining money. It was just very consistent. And I think that the opportunity lost was being able to impact more kids and to be able to have a stronger impact in what we would be able to do for the community in the Flint area. So I think that what that taught me is that, one should be more connected in their vision and their goals and what they want to accomplish, and being able to put together a strong support system for people to help with the scalability of it for their endeavors.
What was that aha moment that you knew that my Dream Big Club was going to be successful?
The conference that we did last year, we had wonderful speakers. We had great sponsors step up to the plate to support us. And then most importantly, we had people that were touched and inspired. And seeing the surveys, seeing the responses, the testimonials, seeing how rejuvenated some people were. Like, we had people that came to us and said, hey, I really needed this. Like, there was a point where I was in a rut, didn't know the direction I wanted to go. I needed some to rejuvenate me to do more. And hearing many stories like that, or hearing from our speakers like, hey, what you guys have put together is great. I've been to many conferences and people that have been planning this for years, and it's not as executed as well as this. And then coming back and then looking at the video, it truly was an aha moment that we have something special, right? And that kind of led us to starting our podcast.
What is your superpower?
That would be around, I'm able to see, like, with my analytical mind, I pay close attention to detail, and I'm able to kind of hear a plan, visualize it on what it, like, do I think it's going to work? And then adding, hey, this is what we can do, or just even thinking about, like, as people go through the journey, how are they going to feel? How are they going to be impacted? How do we transition into, how do we get them from A to Z, but then it's like a step pattern. So I'm able to do that very, very easily in working with putting together events and working with the podcast. It's a story that's being told. So just being able to make those connections very easily has been great for me.
What does self-care look like for you?
It looks like, one, being able to be healthy physically and mentally. And that comes around having exercise to have a energy as well as a healthy body, but then also having the ability to meditate, having the ability to have your quiet time, having the ability to think on your own. All of that goes around self-care.
What is your best discovery?
The best discovery?
Yes.
Best discovery, would be probably around having the ability to start a business. I think from the benefits around taxes, from the benefits around impact, flexibility, from the benefits of generational wealth, from the benefits of lessons learned. I think all that has come from entrepreneurship, and I think that's when people get the entrepreneurial bug for that very reason. And I've been doing it for a long time, but there's still so much to learn, and it's fun, it's enlightening, it's impactful, and then you're also able to increase the workforce development. All that comes around entrepreneurship, right? Being able to hire someone and support their families, right? It comes with a lot of pressure, but then it's like it gets you to understand how the world really works, right? So that's the best discovery.
How do you feel about the person you have become?
I feel I'm happy, right? I think that, when it comes to family, when it comes to career, when it comes to impact, I'm very happy and proud of the journey that I've taken. But then I'm also critical where I want to do more. I want to have a bigger impact. I want to do more for my family. I want to do more for the world. And, that's why, looking at, when, looking like at a Nelson Mandela, for example, it's knowing that we as human beings have the ability to do such amazing things. And that helps to guide where, don't be satisfied with what don't be content, shall I say, with what you've done, because the impact that we all have the ability to do in this world is immense.
Talk about starting a business in the midst of COVID-19.
I think there's a lot of opportunity because around COVID, there's a lot of challenges and things that are being brought to light. And there's great opportunity for people to pivot and even doing things virtually. But I think for the most part, right, when I think about myself, right, just ideas that are coming to head right now is I have kids and we're all, teaching our kids at home, right? There's a business opportunity for one to be able to help to mitigate that, right? How do you alleviate what parents are doing, right? How do you help with the education of the kids, right? When it comes to people that have businesses in person, right? How do you shift online so that you're able to continuously generate revenue, but then also when you come back, it's like now you've created another vertical, right? Or the ability for people to find ways to keep people entertained right now, right? Where, of course we had D-Nice with his quarantine radio, but, what about being able to network in a fun manner, connecting people in a fun manner, right? So there's so many opportunities that exist right now. Of course, there's challenges, but if you really sit back and, kind of like I mentioned about Who Moved My Cheese and thinking about like the change that's happening at a faster rate, what type of change or how do I fit into doing things that will help to mitigate this time and get people through.
What is the hope for your generation?
Hope for my generation is I would select, so I think it's like my generation and the generation below me. So the millennials and whatever the generation is called, that's even below us, but being able to help to fix this, system and inequality that's been happening forever, right? I think right now, even what we're seeing is there's momentum. So my hope is that we continuously push that momentum in the right direction, and that it's not started and stopped. But when we're talking about, injustice in America, that we are continuously pushing forward to have great change, like not this small incremental change, but a great immense change that will help to work with the education system, right? The police brutality, with the wealth gap and the diversity that needs to happen within these companies organically. And then we're there because people are now seeing such the great power and the impact, right? We all have the, political impact to make the change happen. And I think for far too long, we've been in this place of, it's a place where like, what can we do? And I think that my generation, the generation below us, like they're seeing that, oh, we can do a lot and that power can be exercised. So just hope that that continues to be developed for even for my kids, right? So that we continue to push forward.
Why do you continue doing what you do?
So my greatest push and inspiration and desire is around the social impact around it and around being able to change lives. So I think I wake up every day excited because I'm interviewing someone that I know that they're going to, at least one person is going to be touched by what they're going to say. And then that continues to multiply. Or that I'm talking to someone about jumpstarting a business and they've not known what to do for years. And then they finally start it. And then from there, they're able to either do it currently, in parallel with their 9 to 5, or they are, liberated because for years and years and years, they didn't know the first step to take. Right. I think that to me is just it's very gratifying. Right. Or being able to continue to mentor others. Right. So those that don't have the direction that they're looking for. And, we've all been in the place where it's like, what's next? Right. So giving back in that, it has always been gratifying for me and touching in the things that I do.
What do you do when you hit a bump in the road? How do you reset, pivot, and adjust?
I like to meditate and take long walks. So if there's ever a place in time where I believe that it's starting to get overwhelming, or that I just need to think, I'll just go on a very long walk, and through that walk, thoughts will come. I would be more relaxed. Sometimes I have a little piece of paper and a pen in my head, just for the ideas that come to mind. But that just really helps to kind of woosah me and put me in a good place.
What keeps you up at night? Anything?
Nothing. I mean, nothing really, to tell you the truth. It will have a hold on me to keep me up at night. But things that I'm always thinking about is, through the entrepreneur journey, you do have you're always thinking about it. You're always thinking about what's next. You're always thinking about the impact that you're having. You're always thinking about what else can you do? How else can you reach an audience? How else can you market? Who should you be interviewing? So those are the things that are always on my mind. Thankfully, I'm glad I'm not losing sleep over it, but I'm definitely, the mental capacity is always, in my head on those items.
What is a daily or a weekly habit that you do consistently that has given you the greatest success?
Waking up and not immediately going to my cell phone, where I do yoga in the morning. And then from the yoga, I pick up my book, right, where I do a devotion. So it's reading a Bible verse or just talking about what happened the day before and what I want to happen today. And then having 3 things that I focus on to accomplish each day. So I'll put that together at the beginning of the week for each of the days. And then on the exact date. So if it's, Monday, I'll look it over. And then Tuesday, I'll look it over to see how I did. So those are some practices that have been very, very effective.
If someone spent a whole day with you, what is something that we would learn that we don't know about you?
A whole day. I think there's 2 things. I'm not easily stressed, right? So I'm it's I guess that could be a pro and a con, right? So it's like I'm a very chill person, but then I can also flip very quickly if I need to. And I think that they'll see that I'm a family man, right? So I really take that as a top priority. I'm a spiritual man as well. So those are the things that, they would see. And then I'm also, I'm very analytical, right? Pay close attention to detail. A lot of things don't just go by me. So I notice a lot of things, and those are the things that they'll see.
How do you include your personal life, your family life, and your business life?
So there's a balance is very important, where there's, and some days there's more business than family time, right? But I think it's the ability to always analyze what the balance is. So, some days where 90% business, right? You need to come back and say, all right, well, I have to be with the kids for, I have to compensate in a way, right? It can't just be one-sided forever, right? Or, it could even be a matter of, taking the kids everywhere, doing business, but then, you also have a wife, right? So it's also the ability to just kind of always self-analyze how are things around the things that matter to you the most when it comes to career, spirituality, finances, family, right? So just really being able to just have a strong balance and always doing a self-assessment on how you're doing and communicating, right? Communicating with people that are connected to your business, with your spouse, with your kids, because they'll let you know, and you'll pick up the key messaging when it comes to just communicating and making sure that you do have a healthy balance.
What is a technology tool or a technology platform that is a must-have in managing your business day to day?
I think you need to be connected to the cloud in a way. So, right. So when I say the cloud, there's the enterprise with like a Google Drive, for example. Microsoft has their own, but like Google Drive is something that I personally use all the time. Microsoft has their SharePoint. So whatever cloud system you're on, you need to be able to find a way to back up your information. But then as a company, that's critical when it comes to uploading your documents, sharing your documents with others, because that helps you to work efficiently. And then secondly, even in your personal life, right? We all take many, many pictures and it's on our phones. So, the ability to back up the videos and the pictures through a cloud system, like that's the ultimate future right there, right? I think the whole ability to have these data centers now, people that are running the storage for data is the future.
You talk a great deal about social causes. Is there a social cause connected to your business?
Yes. So we have one of the pillars that we are focused on is it's called Dream Big Cares, and that's focused on being able to provide scholarships to people, scholarships to businesses, to students, to actually physically, volunteer our time to reading to kids, to going to food banks, right? So that's a pillar that's extremely important to us because we believe in giving back. So giving back is something that's very, very important to us that we continue to do.
What is the next milestone for My Dream Big Club?
The next milestone we have is a couple, but if I can say two. So one's around the podcast. So we started earlier this year, and we are looking to hit the milestone of 10,000 by the end of the year, listeners. And then the milestone of we're looking for a strong testimony from one of the companies that we've been able to consult with, where they've 10x their revenue. And I think that milestone is great because once you get that one, it continues to multiply.
What's the one word that describes
The one word that describes
you?
Ambitious.
If you conducted this interview, what is the one question that you would have asked yourself and answered the question?
Yeah. So the question would be like, what are some words of encouragement that you would like to leave our listeners? And that would be around continuously being able to dream big and having the ability and the faith to go after and to put action behind it. I think a lot of times, for whatever reason, we are stopped from our big dreams and we have these fears. And I think the fears are very natural. They're very normal. And we as people need to be able to kind of push through them, knowing that at the end of the day, we're going to learn from it. And I think that's very empowering to know that, it's very common to have these fears, and that at the end of it is a great story, is a great testimony for yourself. It's a great reminder of what you were able to accomplish. And that it's important that we continuously feed our minds with positivity, continuously feed our minds with great action that can be put behind it, because those are great reminders of what we can do. We should not just work in a vacuum, and be able to, as you push things out there, you're able to pivot, you're able to change, and, believe in yourself, right? Because if you're not believing in yourself, why should others? And through that, you'll be able to accomplish great things that you are not even able to imagine fully right now.
We've come to the part of our interview. It's called Fun Facts Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I'd like you to give very quick answers. If there's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass. Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
I am ready.
The last movie you saw?
Lion King with my kids.
You relaxed doing what?
Reading and taking walks.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
Stevie Wonder.
Your favorite dance song?
Afrobeats all the way.
What food you eat every week no matter what?
Fruits.
Your favorite month?
March. That's my birth month.
Your first job?
Newspapers. Throwing newspapers.
Work out or hit the couch?
Work out all day.
Thank you so much for joining us on Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast. Before we let you go, why don't you share with our audience the best way that they can connect with you and give them all of your social media handles?
Best way to connect with us is going to mydreambigclub.com. Social handle is the same, at mydreambigclub, for all our social. Definitely follow us on Instagram and join us for our podcast at My Dream Big Club podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a wrap.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.